Batman Ninja feels like a rather redundant title. Technically, Batman is a ninja, along with about 1,000 other things at this point. Frankly, given its history, the idea of a ninja Batman is on the verge of feeling pedestrian. Thankfully, the premise of this film alone more than compensates. Due to an experiment by Psychic Ape Gorilla Grodd going awry, he, Batman, Nightwing, Robin, Red Hood, Alfred, Catwoman, Joker, Harley Quinn, Two-Face, Penguin, Poison Ivy, Bane, Deathstroke, and the entirety of Arkham Asylum are transported back in time to feudal-era Japan. A delayed Batman arrives 2 years after everyone else to discover that within that time, 5 modern-day Americans with no resources, most of whom likely can't even speak the language, have each successfully conquered one of the feuding nations and are now looking to take over all of Japan. Batman must now regroup with his allies, overcome the limitations of the era, and stop the villains from changing the course of history. Now, if the idea of a Gotham-themed rendition of Dynasty Warriors intrigues you, I have to disappoint. For the majority of the film is focused on taking on the Joker and Harley, since they're the ones with the time machine, and what's left of the runtime is devoted to Grodd, or of him being the inciting incident. And of course it had to be Grodd, it's not that there's any other DC villain who's into time travel, and certainly none in Batman's own rogues gallery. Maybe they thought a guerrilla warlord made for a more striking visual, which does seem to be the movie's main priority, for the animation is truly something else. A unique, if occasionally distracting, mix of CGI and 2D animation, everything from the fluidic character models to the beautifully illustrated backgrounds is bursting with life and kinetic energy. That goes double for the pacing. This film never stops. As such, you get a lot within the relatively short runtime. What you're getting a lot of, though, is action scenes. With so much going on screen, there's little time for things like, say, plot, hence the movie's tendency to be a bit contrived. It takes less than 30 minutes for Batman to conveniently run into a clan of fanfic-following ninjas that immediately swear undying loyalty to him. Though worshipped as ever, this portrayal of Batman feels a little off. Conceptually, this makes sense. He's the tech hero in a world with no tech. But it comes across less that Batman is out of his element, and more that Batman is an idiot, rushing in without thinking and even falling for several villain traps. This scenario gave the groundwork for a fantastic character arc for him, and they completely squander it. Which I wouldn't mind so much if it wasn't literally the only character arc in the entire film. Still, aside from Bane getting reduced to a jobber and Damian Wayne Robin being made the standard Kid Appeal character, complete with equally standard cute animal psychic, what little characterization we get feels mostly on point. Helped along by the competent voice acting, which for some characters includes returning voice actors from other projects. Though even this is somewhat hampered in the English version by the at times clunky dialogue attempting to stay in tune with the lip syncing. Except for Joker, whose movements overall are so exaggerated and erratic, they wisely just didn't even bother trying. This of course brings about the dubs versus subs argument, a discussion so vast and layered that there is no way in hell I'm fitting it in my 5 minutes or less time limit. You're gonna have to have it elsewhere. Besides, by the time I got to the scene where the Bat family ride horses all with appropriately themed masks into battle against a weaponized Howl's moving castle, I knew to stop caring for such things as plot, because the writers clearly had as well. At its core, this movie is just action and creative visuals, and if that's all they were aiming to make, then they succeeded. Quite spectacularly. In short, there's nothing wrong with a movie that is pure spectacle. If said spectacle has sufficient passion and effort put into it, it can still be fun. And Lord knows, fun was something most other DC films at the time were rather lacking.